Hey, thanks for checking out today's video. I think I got a really good one for you guys. This is my State of the Union for Ohio State football. I just broke down the Ohio State-Michigan film. I'm going to walk through it with you guys in this video. I'm also going to jump on the whiteboard, talk X's and O's, mainly around why stretch, or otherwise known as what I call outside zone running, did not work against Michigan, and we kept doing it, and it just drove me crazy. I'm going to walk through on the board. I'm even going to showcase the footwork is required and why it's such a difficult play to run with the talent we have on Ohio State's offensive line. First things first, though, this is my State of the Union address on Ohio State football. It is officially time for a change. I think it's time to move on from Ryan Day. And it's hard to say that because I think he's a great guy, and I don't think anyone should be throwing hate at him. But I just think that what I've seen on tape and what I've seen the last few years just isn't what I want for Ohio State football. I just feel like we got to a point where we glamorized 5 stars and we glamorized talent and we glamorized passing game and the lights and just playing fancy foot fairy football is what I call it. And I'm just tired of it. And maybe it's just me, but I just don't want that. All right, I'm wearing Keith Byers' jersey, man. I formation. My favorite football growing up: Maurice Clarett, Beanie Wells, running downhill, Antonio Pittman. Right, the Jim Tressel era. That was my favorite era. Run downhill, play tough defense, play tough freaking everything. And then we got Urban Meyer, and he took the toughness to even another level. And now we're just playing like a rogue, weird NFL team with passing game, but we don't play it with at all NFL toughness. And Michigan has stepped up. Michigan has stepped up, man. That unit that we saw the last few years, I know they cheated. I know they dodged us in 2020, but they come to compete. And they come and they play really strong, fundamental football. They know what they're good at, and they do it. They know they're good at power running, and they just stick with power running. They make just enough passes. That's their formula. It's every single time they come at us. Ohio State, you just never know what you're going to get with a Ryan Day team. And the most upsetting thing, of which I'm going to show you guys, was everything worked against Michigan in this game, minus outside zone. The passing game worked against Michigan. Running power worked against Michigan. Read options worked against Michigan. Quick pitches, run game, worked against Michigan. But unfortunately, our offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, and Ryan Day couldn't have the guts to just stick with what's working. One drive, we'd be passing down the field, and the next thing you know, we try something either fancy throwback, which is nonsense, or we just change what we were doing on that drive. Another drive, we're running down their throats. And then instead, let's start passing the ball. And it's just like, keep what's going. What's working is what's working. Keep doing that. Michigan did that. Power run, play action, power run, play action again, power run. Those are their drive sequences. In Ohio State, you just never know. It just feels like there's too much talent. We got to make sure everyone feels happy out there. On my statement about Ryan Day leaving, I think the idea that, hey, what about all the recruits? What about all the 5 stars? Oh my God, we have such good thing going. I don't care. We got hit in the mouth 4 years in a row. We're like a karate guy who's like, I know all the fancy moves, and then some guy just hits him right in the face. There's no point in knowing the fancy moves, man. If you're in a fight, you gotta not get hit in the face. You gotta hit them in the face. And unfortunately, this is a sport of football. It's a very tough, violent game. Is football. And right now, Ohio State doesn't play the sport of football. They play something else. And Michigan plays football. They play football, okay? I got this. I was lucky enough to go to Ohio State-Michigan game. My dad took me to Ohio State-Michigan game, which as a kid, you don't really know how awesome that is. Because you don't know money, you don't know sacrifice and all that. But these guys on this list right here, you probably can't see it, but like Hawk, Spielman, Troy Smith, Ted Gann's probably 5-star, Nick Mangold, Beanie Wells, James Laurinaitis. Okay, and a couple other guys, but they're older. Were they 5-stars? I don't think any of those guys I just named were 5-stars. And they're the greatest Ohio State Buckeyes of all time. Troy Smith is the best player that we've had in the 2000s. And he was a 4-star. Okay? AJ Hawk, 3-star. Laurinaitis, 3-star. We got to find football players again. And we got to have a culture that is football, tough, guts, love the limelight. Another comment I've heard and read a lot, that it's just a game, or look at Ryan Day's record. You don't understand. There's only 2 rivalries in college football that have this, and I think Ohio State and Michigan have this a little bit more, but Ohio State, Michigan, Auburn, Alabama. Those are the only 4 teams where your season completely depends on beating your opponent, beating your rival. That's all that matters. Michigan had a successful season this year, going 6-6 or whatever they ended up, because they beat Ohio State. And in my opinion, Ohio State had a failed season because they didn't beat Michigan, and that's just how I see it, and I just think that's how it is. I'd rather go 1-11 than 11-1. And I think that's most Ohio State fans. Okay? So that's my State of the Union. I'm trying to stay level-headed here. Let's jump into the whiteboard, and then let's jump into the tape. I want to say I picked up 100 subscribers with my last video. Thank you so much for subscribing. I've gotten so many generous, nice comments too. Thank you. Like, just freaking awesome. Beers by Ivy, I have such a passion for this. And I'm just so freaking thankful of people commenting nice things and also subscribing. Please consider subscribing. We'll jump into the whiteboard. Outside zone, also known as stretch, a lot of different vocab words in football. But the main idea of outside zone or stretch is to get your running back in space. When does it work? When your offensive linemen are more athletic than the defensive linemen. That's when it works. But it didn't work because guess what? Ohio State's offensive linemen were not more athletic than Michigan's D linemen, okay? This looks pretty good for outside zone, right? We got a linebacker, defensive lineman, we got a tackle, tight end. These two can essentially work together, all right? But once again, this is outside zone or stretch. What are we doing? We're running out here. So instead of the hole being like right here, where it normally would be in like the C or D gap, you know, number 8, number 7, depending on what language you grew up in football. The hole now is up here. So everyone's taking a drop step and stretching themselves. I'm going to do the footwork here in a second, so that'll be the next shot. I'm going to walk through the actual footwork. But stretching themselves to get to what's called play side number. Now, if you're looking at my jersey right here and we're running, if the ball is going this way, then the number 1 would be play side number because you're just trying to cover the person's play side number or their shoulder. That would be a successful block. All right, so you're taking a stretch step, and I'll show the footwork here in a second, to cover the play side number of the defensive lineman. If you do that, everyone covers. This running back essentially runs through the hole free. Okay, but the problem with it is Michigan's guys fought very well to cover space over our tackle and tight end over and over again. And then this guy, especially Graham, shot through this gap quicker than our lineman could grab his play side number. I hope I described that efficiently, but that's essentially what happened. Now let's actually show the footwork in real time now. Why this is such a hard block is just because it takes so much athleticism. So let's act like I'm the guard, right? The guard normally gets in 3-point stance. We're down in 3-point stance. To run zone, once again, we are covering ground. We're not covering ground right here. We need to cover over here because the ball is going this way. So we can't block right here. We got to block over here. Okay, so once again, we have to take a step out as our first step. We have to come cover ground with our second step, turn our hips with our third step, and then hit a block. Okay, and when you're going against extremely athletic defensive linemen, this is what their footwork is. They get down in a stance, whatever stance they want. They see the first drop step, and then they immediately are going to push through bull rush and rip right away. So they can essentially come out of a sprinter stance where our offensive linemen, Ohio State's offensive linemen on this stretch type play are going backwards to go forwards. Their defensive linemen are just literally going forwards and ripping. That's why it looks so embarrassing on tape, okay? What actually worked for Ohio State, I'm going to dive deep into the film, is just straight up blocking. They actually did pretty good. All right, straight up blocking footwork would be something like this. First step, second step, third step. Right power right in front of us, right? I'll do some fast speed. You know, that is what actually worked because it's just easier to execute. Outside zone, the steps, as you can see, it's just very, very difficult to do against very good defensive linemen. All right, let's start with our favorite plays. Outside zone. Every single time they ran this, any stretch play, once again, I just showed it, but anytime they run this, automatic stop. I'll show you right on tape. We audible to this one, by the way. Really freaking awesome. Here it is, here it is, here it is, and filled. Let's slow it down. Look at all these guys. They're stretching, they're stretching, they're stretching. But look, Michigan comes in and fills. This time their safety spins down. Boom, makes a play. Our offensive linemen weren't athletic enough to do it. Same thing. This is another play. We're stretching. Pretty good fight, but not fight enough because the backside, like I just showed on the whiteboard, fills the hole. Why are we calling this again? Why are we calling this? One play, Ryan Day and Chip Kelly, you should have seen, oh, we're outmatched. This is an immediate identifier. When you see your guys get reached, then you know we're not quick enough to run with these guys. Here's another play. It's a bad cut up. Sorry, it wasn't exact. I'm working with the best film I got, quite frankly. All right, here we go again. Outside zone. We're stretching, and we got beat. This time the linebacker just filled a hole right against our guard. You can see right here, right next to center, on the left side of the ball. Comes in with a blitz, and we let him walk right in. Outside zone. Because think about it. Outside zone, you have to get to a certain space. You're not blocking exactly the guy in front of you. You're getting to a space. So the guard says, cool, I'm going to get to the space except for the backside tackle right here. If you can kind of see and kind of follow me, right? The two guys left to the center are not working together. This tackle then would need to get to the space of which the linebacker did, but it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Not good enough communication. And that tight end who was pulling completely missed him. Just terrible. Okay, now let's get into what was working, which was power run game, option reads. All right, that's the craziest thing and most upsetting thing about this game is that so many things did work for Ohio State. It wasn't like they played a bad game. They actually played a pretty decent game. They've had a few bonehead mistakes, interceptions, and then they had an offensive coaching staff who were scared to actually challenge Michigan's weak points. And that's an embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment by Ryan Day and Chip Kelly. They should be gone. That's how bad this is. Let's check it out, though. This is impeccable blocking. Look at this. This is power, meaning we are pulling people into a hole. Everyone is blocking who's in front of them. And the guys who are pulling, meaning moving from where they are to the hole, are going to pick up the first jersey they see. Okay? That's 67. That's the tight end. This is incredible. This one's a very fancy one because you're essentially 775. You go up to the second level, which would be the linebacker. And then the tight end's going to pull and grab the guy that you were blocking. It's kind of a mind trick. This is very, very next level type run game, and it works beautifully. Hat on a hat, literally across the board, maybe a hold, I don't know, but hat on a hat, beautiful. I mean, that is extraordinary technique. Let's see that one more time. Here we go. So we can see 75, the center grabs a guy, lets him go, gets pulled. He's working at the second level, which the linebacker is. The tight end's grabbing the guy who the center was blocking. And we're hat on a hat. Number 70 pulled from the left side. And now he's blocking the other side of the line of scrimmage as linebacker. The opposite side linebacker. I mean, this is impeccable blocking. That's some of the greatest blocking I've ever seen in my entire life, quite frankly. Okay? Here's another run power game. Blocking the guys in front of you. And you can say, well, this is only 2 yards, but okay. That was a good fight. Let's one more time. Let's watch that. That's a lot better than those outside zone -3 yards, I'll tell you that. All right, this is just another play in the drive. We're moving the ball down the field. We're moving the ball down the field. This is all in one drive. Once again, I'm trying to show drives saying that we had momentum, and then you leave what was working. All right, we know power run right now is working, okay? Because here's another one. Power run. We're bringing our guys in. Here we go. We're running up the field. Our offensive lineman's at the second level. We pick up 6. One more time. Look at those two big boys pulling. 74 is working off them. Incredible blocking. This is fundamentally amazing blocking. I got to slow it down. Sorry, guys. Getting a little passionate. Maybe I've just been crying too much recently. I need some energy back in me. I haven't been crying, but you get my point. All right. But look how awesome this blocking is. One more time. All right. That was great. Look at the pull. Look at the pull. Look at the pull. 74 coming up. 74 is the left side tackle. Okay. One more time. Let's stop it right here. Sorry, guys. I know this is cut up. 74, bottom of the screen. Right here. This guy right here. Watch him. Bottom of the screen. 2 guys left to the center. Okay? He immediately starts working up. And he leaves his zone. He leaves his space. But then they bring in 2 other guys from the opposite side of the line of scrimmage that fill in the gap, and he's blocking downfield. Look at 74 take on that linebacker. Middle of the screen. Look at that. Look how incredible that is. Ryan Day, why didn't we do that? If we can do this, then why didn't we do this every single play? Why are we running outside zone like I showed you earlier? Because we just ran it down their throats. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. This is why it's so upsetting. This is just such a horrible play by Howard. I mean, he's sitting there. And he's just like waiting. He's waiting. He's just looking right at him. He's still looking at him. The cornerback fell and he recovered and he picked the ball off. Why aren't we running the ball? And the play before this was bad too. But I just run the ball when you got the ball. I'm in the way. Sorry guys, I'm in the way. But anyways, this is power. Let's see if I can swap me real quick. Here we go. This worked against Penn State. Okay, this is a Penn State clip. Power. Why was this not in the game plan? We ran it really good against Penn State. We ran right down their throats. All second half. Why was that not in the Michigan game? We had it in the game, but we gave it up. And that's what's so upsetting. I got to move me back up here. It's just freakishly upsetting. Okay, I'm back. All right. This is to show that the pass game was working. And they let it go. They let it go with inconsistencies. The whole game. Oh, we got the pass game going. Oh, let's change it. Not this drive. We're throwing the ball downfield the entire drive. Let's see how it turns out. Let's see how this one turned out. Great throw and catch the first play. Great read by Howard. Not the greatest throw, but you got it to him. So that's good enough in this game. Great. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Deliver. Great footwork. Great eyes, great read. Howard looking really smooth right there. Hey, let's throw it again. We've thrown like 4 times in a row. It's worked. Cool. Great. We're on a slant on the strong side of the field. Great catch by Tate. There it is. One more to Tate. He's hot. Why not? We're like literally 5 or 6 for 6 now on that drive. Let's keep it going. Great play by Howard. And what do? We know that their best corner is out of the game. Their best player is their corner. Don't even know his name, but he didn't play. All right? So let's test their corners. This happened twice. Let's go back. This happened twice. Only twice. And it should have been at least 5 times. Who's your best player right now on the offensive side of the ball? Smith, number 4, the freshman. Literally the guy who's playing with the most intensity of anyone on the football field. Let's give him a chance. Give him a go ball. Boom. He makes a good thing happen. All right. So now we're getting close to the goal line. What do? We've thrown the ball the entire series. Keep up the momentum. It's not rocket science. We don't need to run power zone because we're moving the ball via the pass game. Keep the momentum. Ay, ay, ay. All right, this is so that was kind of like my soapbox of keeping momentum. I'm gonna show two of the best plays in the game. This play by Davis Warren is absolutely phenomenal, and this is what J.J. McCarthy did so well, and this is what Troy Smith used to do so well, is extend the play. And this throw, I didn't know that was in him, quite frankly, and I think this is probably the most important play of the game. Was him rolling out and be able to make this extending play on the run, finding his receiver. Great catch, absolutely remarkable football there, winning play. I also want to give a shout out. This is a really heads up play by Sawyer, big pick. Unfortunately, Ohio State's offense was abysmal that next drive. So that kind of wraps up my film session. One thing I want to say too about kicking is missed two giant field goals in this game, I think within 38 yards. And as a head coach, there's two people you need a personal relationship with. It's your quarterback and it's your kicker. And for your kicker, in a big game may miss one, right? But you got to be able to go up to him and just have a really good conversation with him to make sure that his head is in the right spot. And I feel like that didn't happen because there's no way that kicker makes a field goal or makes a kick earlier in the game and then comes back, makes a field goal, and then misses the next two. And Ryan Day, what are you doing? Go talk to your kicker. Be a leader. Have a communication path with him where you make sure that his head isn't where it needs to be to go out and kick the next field goal, which would have theoretically, most likely, probably won you the game because it changes up the circumstances. It makes Michigan more than likely have to throw the ball more. So that was also something that I haven't heard anyone say, but I'm blaming Dave for that. And I know it's whoa, what do you mean? He's not the kicker. He doesn't go out there and kick. Dude, you're the leader of the football team. Your job is mentality, and your job is to make sure that people are ready to compete. That's what your literal job is as the head football coach of the football team. All right, guys, please consider subscribing. I also got these hats. You can check out my store. But yeah, just trying to bring good, positive content, even though it's kind of hard to do when our coaching staff was, I'm just going to shut up about it. They weren't very good. All right, guys. Sorry to leave on a sour note, but hey, we got good things coming, right? Yeah, definitely good things coming. I'll bring another video, but yeah, appreciate the support. And yeah, let's keep it rock and rolling. Thanks all.